All right, when you think of lost Inca cities, what's the first one that pops into your head? Yeah, exactly. But what if I told you that high in the Peruvian Andes, there's another one that's bigger and way more mysterious, hiding in plain sight? Today, we're talking about Choquequirao.
So what you're looking at here is what many people call Machu Picchu's sister city. It's perched way up on this crazy steep mountainside looking down over the Apurimac River. It's a truly remote wonder that, up until now, has really only been seen by the most hardcore adventurers.
And here's the part that'll really blow your mind. That number, that's how much of the city we think has actually been excavated. Just think about that. More than half of this enormous city is still completely swallowed by the jungle. Its secrets just waiting. So you hear this term sister city thrown around. What's that actually mean? Well, to really get a handle on Choquequirao, you've got to put it side by side with its super famous sibling. Let's break it down. The scale difference is just whoa. Choquequirao's is huge. We're talking 1,800 hectares, which makes it way bigger than Machu Picchu. But even with that massive size, you can see it's got that classic Inca DNA. The big ceremonial plazas, the sophisticated stonework, all the signs of a major, important imperial city. And the name itself, it's just dripping with mystique. Choquequirao means Cradle of Gold. Now, don't go thinking they found some giant treasure chest. Not yet, anyway. The name probably points to just how incredibly important this place was, both strategically and spiritually, to the Inca. And that importance brings us to its seriously dramatic history. See, this place wasn't just some peaceful mountain retreat. Nope, this was a fortress, a final refuge. It played a huge role in the last days of the Inca Empire. This timeline tells such a cool story. It was probably founded by the legendary Inca ruler Pachacuti. Yep, the same guy behind Machu Picchu. But later, it became a rebel base for Manco Inca, fighting against the Spanish. After it was abandoned, it completely vanished into the forest for centuries. And get this, even Hiram Menem, the man famous for rediscovering Machu Picchu, came here first in 1909, but he totally missed its significance, just thought it was some small fort and moved on. Can you imagine? So let's be really clear, because this is so important. After the Inca failed to take back their capital, Cusco, the rebel leaders retreated deep into the mountains, and Choquequirao became one of their last strongholds. It was a powerful symbol of defiance. And this quote from the Peruvian Tourism Office really hits the nail on the head. Its location was genius. It was like a checkpoint, controlling access to the rebel territories. And it was a vital hub, connecting the Amazon to the highlands. This city had a serious purpose. So, we've talked about the history, the size, but what's it actually like to be there? Let's take a little virtual tour, shall we? Let's check out some of its most amazing features. Okay, first off, the entire city is centered around this incredible feat of engineering. The Inca literally flattened the top of a mountain to create a massive platform. This became the absolute heart of the city, and everything else just kind of spills out from there. And of course, like any great Inca site, the landscape is just dominated by these massive terraces. They cascade down the mountainside like giant green staircases. And they weren't just for farming. They literally held the mountain together so the city could be built. The whole city is actually broken up into 12 different areas. You've got your main plaza with these cool 2-story buildings. Then there's this really interesting oval platform called an uznu for ceremonies. Special quarters for priests, and the water systems? Just brilliant. And get this, there's a giant staircase that's perfectly aligned with the solstice sunrise. How cool is that? But if there's one thing, one feature that makes Choquequirao absolutely unique, it's this. Built right into the walls of the terraces are these incredible stone mosaics, known as the Llamas of the Sun. So what's the big deal with these? Well, look closely. They're made of bright white stones stuck into the dark walls, so they just pop. They show llamas, which were like everything to the Inca, food, transport, you name it. But here's the real twist. The artistic style isn't Inca. It belongs to a totally different culture, the Chachapoya. It suggests they were brought here as master artisans to build this place. You don't find this anywhere else. It's one of a kind. And looking at these pictures, you can really get a sense of how wild and untamed so much of the site still is. Exploring Choquequirao today must feel like you're the first person to stumble upon it in centuries, with nature trying to take it back. But that wildness, that feeling of discovery, that's exactly what's at stake right now. Choquequirao is at a massive crossroads, and its future could be completely rewritten. Okay, look at this. On one side, that's how you get there now, a brutal multi-day hike. But on the other, that's the plan, a cable car. What takes days of sweat and effort could soon take 15 minutes. The difference is just unbelievable. Let's just look at the raw numbers here, because they tell the whole story. Back in 2013, you had maybe 5,000 hardy souls making the trek each year. With the cable car, they're projecting 200,000 visitors in the first year alone. That's not just an increase, that's an explosion. This chart says it all, doesn't it? That tiny little bar on the left, that's today. That huge bar on the right, that's the future they're planning. Of course, that brings a ton of economic opportunity, but it also brings a huge, huge risk to the site itself. And that's what it all comes down to, really. It leaves us with this massive, complicated question. The very thing that protected Choquequirao for all these centuries, its remoteness, is also what makes it so magical. So how do you share a wonder like this with the world without accidentally crushing the very soul of the place? That is the challenge facing the Cradle of Gold.